Hey viewers, welcome to African Tales by Affy. Please kindly click the subscribe button to get notified for more amazing stories. Leo Hartman was the owner of the grandest hotel in the city, the Golden Nest. People from all over the world came to stay there. It had shiny floors that reflected like mirrors, chandeliers that twinkled like stars, and elevators that sang when they opened. Leo was young, smart, and very rich. He wore neat suits every day and had a driver, a big office on the top floor, and a schedule filled with meetings. But even though he was surrounded by glitter and gold, something always felt missing. One night, Leo stayed late at the hotel, going through reports. It was past midnight when he decided to take a quiet walk through the halls. Most guests were asleep, and the hotel was silent except for the soft hum of the air conditioners and the occasional beep of a cleaner's cart. As he passed the staff hallway, something caught his eye. The door to the staff restroom was slightly open. That was odd, those doors were always kept shut. Leo stepped closer and gently pushed the door open. Inside, curled up on the small bench near the lockers, was a girl. She had a broom leaning beside her and her cap had slipped over her face. She looked very tired. Her arms were tucked under her head like a pillow. Leo blinked. He had never seen her before. He gently knocked on the doorframe. "Hello," he said softly. The girl stirred and sat up quickly, brushing her curly hair from her eyes. "Oh. I'm sorry, sir," she stammered. "I was just resting. Just for a minute. Please don't report me. I didn't mean to fall asleep." Leo was surprised by her voice. It was gentle and scared at the same time. "You work here?" he asked. "Yes, sir. My name is Maya. I clean the floors at night. I start at 9 p.m. and finish by 5 in the morning." She stood up quickly and grabbed her broom. "I'll go now. I didn't mean to be seen." Leo raised a hand. "Wait. Don't be scared. You look exhausted. When was the last time you slept properly?" Maya looked down. "It's okay, really. I work 2 jobs. This one and another at a bakery in the morning. I don't sleep much." Leo didn't know what to say. He had never thought about the people who cleaned his hotel when everyone else was sleeping. "Well," he said slowly. "Thank you for working so hard. The hotel is always spotless. That's because of you, right?" Maya blushed. No one had ever thanked her before. "I just do my job, sir." Leo nodded. "Still, I'm glad I found out who's behind those shiny floors." Maya looked up at him. He didn't look angry. He looked kind. Maybe even a little curious. After that night, something changed in Leo. Every few days, he would walk the hotel late at night. Not to check on work, but hoping to bump into Maya. And every time they met, they would talk. Sometimes about the hotel. Sometimes about the stars. Sometimes about dreams. One night, Maya said, "When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a designer. I used to build tiny hotels out of cereal boxes. I even made paper chandeliers with glitter." Leo smiled. "That's amazing. Why didn't you become one?" Maya shrugged. "Life. I had to work instead. School got too expensive. Dreams got dusty." Leo was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Maybe it's time to dust them off." Maya looked at him with wide eyes. You really think someone like me could design a hotel? Leo nodded. I think someone like you already has the heart for it. And heart is what makes a place beautiful. They sat in silence, letting the words hang in the air like magic. That night, Maya didn't feel like just a cleaner. And Leo didn't feel like just a CEO. They felt like two people, seeing each other clearly for the very first time.
Maya swept the grand lobby of the Golden Nest as moonlight spilled through the glass windows. It was her favorite time, the quietest part of the night. No clacking heels, no rolling suitcases, just the soft shhh of her broom on marble floors. But lately, something new had been happening. Leo. Every few nights, he'd appear like a shadow in the hallway, smiling gently, asking, "How's the night going, Maya?" And every time, her heart would skip just a little. They shared stories, laughter, and sometimes dreams, the kinds Maya had buried deep inside. But this time, as Maya finished cleaning the lobby, she saw him waiting by the fountain, holding 2 paper cups of hot cocoa. She blinked in surprise. "You came again?" Leo chuckled. "Of course. Thought you might like a break." Maya hesitated. "If my supervisor sees us." "Relax," Leo said with a grin. "I'm the boss. I give the breaks." She smiled and sat beside him, the fountain bubbling softly behind them. He handed her a cup. "So, what kind of hotel would you design?" Maya took a sip and closed her eyes. "One that feels like a hug. Not too fancy, just warm. I'd use soft lights, bright colors, and have a reading room full of big chairs and picture books." Leo laughed. "That's the most magical hotel idea I've ever heard." She looked at him curiously. "Do you think magic can really happen for people like me?" He looked her in the eyes. "I think people like you make the magic." Their eyes locked. A strange flutter filled Maya's chest. But before she could say anything, a sharp voice echoed behind them. Ahem. It was Clara, the daytime manager. She wore stiff suits and always had a clipboard. "Oh, Miss Clara." Maya jumped up, nearly spilling her cocoa. I was just..." "I see what you were just doing," Clara said with a raised eyebrow. Then she turned to Leo and softened her tone. "Sir, you don't need to worry about staff matters. That's my job." Leo stood slowly. "Maya's not doing anything wrong. I asked her to take a break." Clara pursed her lips. "Very well. But if guests see a cleaner lounging with the CEO, they may misunderstand." Maya's heart sank. She felt suddenly small. Leo's jaw tightened. "Thank you, Clara. I'll handle it from here." Clara nodded stiffly and walked off. Maya whispered, "Maybe it's not a good idea, us talking like this."
But Leo shook his head. Don't let people like her decide your worth. You're not just a cleaner. You're someone with ideas, heart, and courage. Maya looked at him, uncertain. "Still, I don't belong in your world." Leo leaned closer. "You belong anywhere your heart wants to go." Later that week, Maya was sweeping the hallway when she found a small envelope tucked into her locker. She opened it slowly. Inside was a letter. In neat, careful handwriting, it read, "Dear Maya, there's a design class every Saturday at the community center. I've enrolled you. All paid for. You deserve to dream again. Maya pressed the letter to her chest. Her hands trembled. No one had ever done something like that for her. The next Saturday, she walked into that classroom with her chin held high. At first, she felt out of place. Most students had fancy sketchbooks and laptops. But when she showed her paper model made from cereal boxes, the teacher smiled and said, "You have an eye for magic, Maya." And week after week, she got better. Leo never asked for updates, but she started leaving sketches under his office door anyway: tiny hotel lobbies, cozy reading rooms, and sparkly paper chandeliers. One evening, he left a note on her broom. "Your latest drawing? Made my whole day." That was the night they began meeting in the hidden garden behind the hotel. It had tall hedges, fairy lights, and a little wooden bench. It became their place, away from eyes, titles, and rules. One night, as the garden glowed and the stars winked above, Maya said, "Do you think people would accept us? Someone like you and someone like me?" Leo paused. "Maybe not right away. But the best stories? They always have a little struggle. That's what makes the ending worth it." She smiled. "I like that." He leaned in closer, brushing a curl from her cheek. "I like you." And in that moment, the stars weren't the only things twinkling. The sun rose over the golden nest with golden streaks lighting up the windows. Maya had just finished her night shift, her hands dusty from cleaning, her heart light from another secret meeting in the garden with Leo. But something was different today. As she stepped into the locker room to change, two other cleaners, Mrs. Tina and young Cassie, stopped talking when she walked in. They glanced at each other, then at Maya, and quickly looked away. Maya blinked. "Good morning," she said, tying her apron. "Morning," Cassie mumbled, not meeting her eyes. Mrs. Tina just nodded stiffly. Maya's stomach turned. Something was wrong. Later that night, as she returned for her shift, she found a folded flyer on her cleaning cart. It wasn't hers. She opened it. It was a printed photo, blurry, taken from afar, but it showed her and Leo sitting together in the garden, laughing. Her hand was on his arm. In red marker, someone had written, "Sleeping her way to the top?" Maya's hands trembled. Her cheeks burned. Who had taken this? Who had passed it around? She shoved it into her pocket and ran to the back hallway, heart pounding like a drum. She didn't cry. Not yet. Instead, she waited until her break and slipped into the garden. Leo was already there, looking tired and holding a bag of pastries. When he saw her face, his smile faded. "Maya? What's wrong?" She threw the paper at him. "This. Someone took this and passed it around. People are talking. Staring. Judging." Leo picked up the paper. His face darkened. "Who did this?" "I don't know. But I'm being whispered about. Laughed at. As if I don't belong here." "Maya. I told you this would happen," she burst out. "We live in different worlds. I'm a cleaner. You're the boss. This was always going to end badly." Leo stepped forward, calm but firm. "No. What's ending badly is the way people treat you. Not us." Maya shook her head, tears stinging her eyes. "I worked so hard to be respected. To prove I'm more than a girl with a broom. And now, they're calling me names. Leo gently reached for her hands. Let them talk. We know the truth. You've earned every step forward with your own strength. She looked away. I just wanted to dream quietly. Now it's a storm I didn't ask for. Leo was quiet for a long moment. Then he said softly, "Come with me." Where? He smiled. To my world. The next morning, Maya stood nervously in the hotel ballroom. It was filled with business people, designers, and hotel staff. Cameras clicked. A big event was happening, the announcement of the Golden Nest's new hotel renovation. Leo stepped up to the microphone. Good morning. Today, we're announcing something special. A redesign of the Golden Nest to make it warmer, more welcoming, a place that feels like home. The crowd murmured with interest. And the designer, he continued, is someone who has worked harder than anyone I know. She's creative, kind, and brave. Her name is Maya Brooks. Gasps rippled through the room. Maya's breath caught in her throat. She started here as a night cleaner, Leo went on. But she's always been an artist. She just needed someone to believe in her. And now, she's designing a space that will touch thousands of lives. The ballroom was silent. Leo turned toward her and held out his hand. Come say a few words, Maya. Her knees shook. Her heart thundered. But she stepped forward. And when she looked out at all the surprised faces, even Clara's stiff one, she took a deep breath and spoke. My name is Maya, she said. Yes, I clean floors. Yes, I once slept in a staff restroom because I was too tired. But I also dream and draw and create. And every sparkle you've ever seen in this hotel? I helped make it shine. Someone started clapping. Then more. And soon, the whole room stood and applauded. Maya smiled. Not because they were clapping, but because for the first time in her life, she believed in herself too. Later, in the quiet garden, Maya sat beside Leo. They didn't throw tomatoes, she joked. He laughed. You were amazing. She smiled. Still scared, though. Leo reached for her hand. That's okay. Brave people are often scared. But they do the hard thing anyway. Maya squeezed his hand. Then I guess I'll keep being brave. And as the sky turned pink with morning light, Maya and Leo sat together, two hearts beating through the storm. Maya's life was changing faster than she could sweep a lobby. One moment she was a night cleaner in a quiet corner of the Golden Nest. The next, she was in meetings with architects, talking about carpets and colors and skylights. At first, Maya felt like a giraffe in a tea party, tall with dreams but unsure where to step. But Leo was always close, cheering her on, sliding little notes into her sketchbook. Remember, you make things beautiful just by seeing them. No one can design like you, not because you know the rules, but because you follow your heart. Those words stayed with her. So did the nights they spent in the garden, dreaming up ideas like pillow libraries and breakfast rooms with sunrise windows. Still, not everyone was happy. Clara, the manager, watched from afar with cold eyes. Other staff whispered. Behind napkin folding stations and linen closets. She's only here because of Leo, they'd say. She's just lucky. She'll mess up and be gone in a week. Maya heard them. But instead of crying, she poured her feelings into her drawings, soft reading corners, gentle lighting for night workers, artwork made by staff members. One afternoon, she showed a design to the board of directors, a room called the rest nest where tired workers could rest safely during breaks. An older board member frowned. "Why would we waste space on naps?" Maya smiled sweetly. "Because rested people make magic. And magic is what guests come here for." Leo smirked proudly from across the table. The plan was approved. But even as success bloomed around her, Maya sometimes wondered if people would ever stop judging her because of where she started. One evening, she and Leo sat on their usual garden bench. Fireflies danced in the hedges. "Leo," she said softly, "what if I fail?" He looked at her. "Then you fail trying to fly." "But I don't think you will. I'm scared that when this all fades, I'll be the girl with the broom again." Leo reached into his coat and pulled out something wrapped in tissue paper. He handed it to her. Inside was a tiny silver broom, polished and pretty, hanging on a chain. She gasped. "You made this?" "I had it made," he said. "To remind you, that broom wasn't a weakness. It was the start of your strength." She looked at it, eyes brimming. "Leo, this is the most beautiful thing anyone's ever given me." He took her hand. "You swept your way into people's hearts, Maya. Including mine." As months passed, Maya's designs were built floor by floor. The hotel was buzzing with excitement. Reporters came to interview her. One asked, "What's your secret?" Maya smiled. "Hard work. And a little kindness." But just when everything felt perfect, another storm arrived. Photos appeared in a gossip magazine, CEO caught in secret love affair with former cleaner. Some board members grew nervous. Guests started asking questions. Clara marched into Leo's office. "This is becoming a scandal," she snapped. "Your relationship with Miss Brooks, it's risky." Leo folded his arms. "You mean it's risky because she didn't come from money?" "She's ruining your image," Clara hissed. "This hotel stands for class and elegance." Leo stood. "Then maybe it's time we change what class really means." He called a meeting. In the ballroom, staff and press gathered. Leo stepped up. "There's been talk. Whispers. Headlines. Let me clear things up." He took a deep breath. "Yes, I love Maya Brooks." Gasps. "And yes, she started here as a night cleaner. But she's also the reason our hotel is blooming again. Her ideas. Her soul. Her story." He looked around. "If we can't see value in someone because of where they started, then we don't deserve to call ourselves the Golden Nest." He stepped aside. Maya walked to the front, holding the silver broom necklace in her hand. "I've scrubbed floors, wiped windows, and emptied bins. But I've also built dreams with crayons, sketches, and courage," she said. "No matter what you say, I'm proud of both the cleaner and the creator in me." The room fell silent. Then, applause, slow at first, then rising like a wave. From the corner, Clara slipped away, her clipboard forgotten. That night, in the garden, Maya and Leo danced under fairy lights. No music, just the soft rhythm of their hearts. "You were incredible," he whispered. She rested her head on his shoulder. "I wasn't alone." And in that moment, they didn't care about titles, gossip, or gold. They were just Maya and Leo, hearts that had found each other in the quiet of midnight. Spring bloomed across the city. At the Golden Nest, the scent of fresh lavender floated through the air, and sunlight spilled onto the newly polished floors that Maya had once cleaned every night. Now, her name was carved into a golden plaque outside the hotel's newest wing. Designed with heart by Maya Brooks. Guests stopped to admire the warm lighting, the soft chairs by the windows, and the gentle murals of women at work, sweeping, cooking, designing, dreaming. It was a place made with love. But inside Maya, things were still changing. One morning, she stood on the rooftop garden, staring at the sky. A hand brushed hers. "Leo." "Big day," he said. She nodded, eyes wide. "I still can't believe it." Below them, the hotel was buzzing with celebration. Maya had been named one of the top 10 designers changing the face of hospitality. Her story, from cleaner to creator, had gone viral. Newspapers, magazines, and even schools were talking about her. But more important to her than any headline was the new project she had just started. The Open Door program, a mentorship for women in housekeeping who wanted to learn hotel design, management, or just how to dream. Still, as proud as she was, Maya couldn't shake the nerves fluttering in her chest. "What if I mess this up?" she whispered. Leo pulled her close. "Then we fix it. Together." She leaned her head against him. "We've come so far, haven't we?" "From a garden bench to the rooftop of the city," he said with a smile. Just then, Cassie, the young cleaner who had once avoided Maya, ran up with tears in her eyes and a clipboard in hand. "Maya," she gasped. "I was just chosen for the first mentorship class." "You picked me." Maya grinned. "Of course I did. I've seen your sketches." Cassie hugged her. "I used to be ashamed of this job. Now, I see it differently." Maya's eyes filled. "Never be ashamed of where you start. It's just the beginning of your story." Weeks passed. The hotel flourished under the warmth of Maya's designs and Leo's leadership. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace in their new home, a cozy apartment above the hotel garden, Leo took Maya's hand. "There's something I've been wanting to ask you," he said, his voice trembling slightly. She raised an eyebrow. "You look nervous." "That's a first." He smiled. Then slowly, he pulled a tiny box from his coat pocket. "Maya Brooks," he said softly, "you changed my life. You taught me what real beauty is, not chandeliers or marble floors, but kindness, courage, and love. Will you marry me?" Her eyes widened. Her heart skipped. And with tears on her cheeks, she whispered, "Yes. 1,000 times yes." They laughed and hugged and danced around their living room, forgetting about the world outside. But the world was watching, not to judge anymore, but to celebrate. News of their engagement spread with joy. Guests began asking to tour the love garden where it all started. Staff members smiled when they saw Leo holding Maya's sketchbook in meetings. And Clara, after months of silence, finally came forward one day. She found Maya in the reading room. "I judged you," Clara said honestly. "Because I couldn't imagine someone rising without a ladder made of gold. But you built wings." Maya smiled gently. "Everyone deserves a chance to fly." The wedding was simple and magical. It was held in the very ballroom where Maya once feared to stand. Now, she walked down the aisle in a soft ivory gown, surrounded by flowers picked from the rooftop garden, with staff and friends cheering like family. Cassie read a poem. Mrs. Tina baked the cake. Even the maintenance staff wore suits. Leo stood waiting with tears in his eyes. When Maya reached him, he whispered, "You are the heart of this home." And Maya, once a tired girl curled in a restroom, became a wife, a leader, and a light. Years later, their daughter would run through the halls of the Golden Nest, giggling and waving to staff who smiled with warmth. And when she asked, "Mama, how did you meet Papa?" Maya would smile and say, "It all started with a broom, a bench, and a little bit of courage." And together, they would walk through the hotel Maya had helped build, not just with walls and windows, but with heart. Hello tribe, hope we enjoyed today's story. Please kindly put what you've learned in the comments section. Please remember to hit the like button, share this to your friends and family, as well as subscribe to see you on the next one. Bye.